Musically.
And welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How was your weekend? How's your week been so far, right? Y'all ready for this new year? It's winding down, ain't it? Well, anyway, I know that I'm ready for it. I think there are wonderful things to come. I'm so excited about I'm just really feeling optimistic. Are y'all feeling optimistic too? Anyway, so as always, if you want to join this studio, I'll put the link in the chat. So if you want to get in here, feel free to get in here. This is going to be a show right before the new year. I'm going to get into all that shortly. And I see y'all comments. Y'all already know I'm going to bring y'all comments on. But you already know what I got to do. First, what I'm going to say, y'all. Now, if y'all new here, just play along, right? If you new, just play along. But I got to say what I'm going to say, right? Somebody was just teasing me recently talking about when I be saying spiel or whatever. They was kind of like teasing me or whatnot. But I'm going to do my spiel anyway. You feel me? I'm going to do it. All right? So anyway, I see your comments. I promise I'm going to bring them on. So let me go ahead. Let's get into this. So you already know what I'm going to say. Look, first of all, you should be following, liking us across all platforms. I see some new names in this little chat. Right. So I'm going to give you all the information and I expect to see you following, liking, and subscribing. All right. So y'all already know what I'm going to say. YouTube, Relationship Soup, what? Period. You got to put the period. If you don't put the period in there, you're going to be somewhere else. I'm just saying. And of course, I have the greeting cards, y'all. Okay. So make sure that you are hitting up relationshipsoup.com for your greeting card needs. All right. And of course, if you want to follow me, the group, right? Well, I'm in the group. I'm going to give you my information in a minute. But the group is Relationship Soup Group. If you want to follow me, it's Relationship Soup LLC. All right. And of course, we on TikTok. Okay. I've been posting. I've been doing so much better. Right. So anyway, join us on TikTok. All right. So anyway, so that's it for that part of it right there. All right, so let me go ahead and get to y'all comments or whatever, because y'all already know that I'll be so grateful when you join us. Okay, let me go ahead first. Let me put this little login link in the chat. So if you want to get in this studio, we still got some room. So let me go ahead and post that. All right, boom, good. It's It's posting to. So that's the link right there. Just hit it, follow the prompts, whatever, and get in this room if you want to be in here. It's always good energy in the virtual studio. So I see y'all comments because you don't miss. You don't miss, fam. How are you, fam? You ready for this 2026? You getting ready? You gearing up? How's your week? How's your weekend? Did you have a good one? Let me know. All right, so let's see here. Bello Usman. I'm well, Bello. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I hope that you've subscribed to the YouTube. I would appreciate that. Barbara Brooks, what's the science? What's going on, B? It's been a minute. I ain't seen your face in real life in a minute. How you been, sis? You good? You good, beautiful? Let me know. Yeah, like I said, my little going out capacity, like by the time the fall hit, I'll be having 2.8 events left in me. So I've been kind of hibernating, but life is good though. Life is good. M. Woodson, what's the science? How are you? Merry Christmas. Yes, absolutely. Merry Christmas to you and a happy new year, right? All right, y'all. So anyway, you all have the links and all of that. So we're going to go ahead and get into this episode. This episode, listen, it's pretty much going to be just to the point. Nothing, not our norm, right? Because I just kind of wanted something to honor going into this new year. So this episode is entitled, it's episode 94, y'all, live from the pause before the new year turns. All right. So I want y'all to take a breath with me, all right? Because like I said, we're going to pause and we're going to do this before this 2026 hits, all right? It's just some words that I want to share with you all before we make this little transition. So just take a second, take a deep breath with me, right? I've been breathing. Like I was just having a conversation recently with one of my friends, and I noticed sometimes I be holding my breath. Do y'all do that? Do y'all be holding your breath too sometimes? Like I was like, man, I'm holding my breath. So I'm more intentional about my breath. So anyway, like I said, I'm laughing, y'all. Y'all don't be seeing what I see behind the scenes, right? But anyway, so all right, so listen, if you are listening live, catching this later, thank you, right? Thank you so much, right? So, whether you catching the rerun live, on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, you know that I love you. I appreciate you and I thank you. And I'm really grateful for those of you. If you're new here, thank you so much. If you've supported since, I started this thing, I really appreciate you. And just the support throughout 2025, I'm really grateful, right? So like I said, y'all, tonight is truly a pause, a moment, a closing thought before we turn the page. It's December 23rd, 2025. So what does that mean? It means that we're standing in that quiet place between what was and what's coming, right? Have y'all thought about it like that? But that's just what it is. And I think that this space deserves more respect than we give it. And that's why I wanted to dedicate this show to that, because I really feel like this space needs to be respected. So anyway, let's go ahead and reflect. Now, y'all, how was y'all 2025? Talk to me. Put it in the chat if you feel moved to. How was your 2025? Now, for some of us, 2025, we'll remember it forever, right? It's going to be one of them things that go down in our mental history books like, oh man, 2025 was the year, right? I mean, and for good reason. Hopefully there's been some growth, some wins, some breakthrough moments where things finally clicked. Sometimes we have them years, right? Now, for others, let's just be honest. It probably was a whole fool, right? And that's okay. Maybe you were asked to do more than what you even thought you could do or even expected. Maybe your faith was tested. Maybe your patience, your confidence, hell, even your energy, right? Is it just me? I don't know. Look, my homegirl in the chat, where are we at? Like, man, because I've been feeling like, just personally, I just been feeling a little drained, right? So anyway, for a lot of people, it could have been a combination of both. For me, I can truly say that. And that's the thing about life. These years ain't neat, right? It's kind of like a box of chocolates, right? You don't ever know what you're going to get. So, in one area you might win and then you might struggle in another area, right? Am I lying though? Can anybody identify with that? You look successful on the outside, but exhausted on the inside. Has anybody ever felt that before? I'm just saying. So, wherever you're at, whether you're feeling conflicted about this, how this year went, how you wanted it to go, whatever that conflict is, let me say this. That doesn't mean that you're behind, love. It don't mean that at all. It just means that you're human and that you truly should just give yourself grace because it's truly okay. Even if the year didn't go how you wanted it to go, if your expectations weren't met, that's okay. Or maybe you didn't move how you felt like you should move. That's all right. So anyway, like I said, this show, we're just gonna be doing some reflecting, some talking, and then I do have a guest that wants to come on. So, I'm gonna move through this as quick as I can to give them their time. And then we're gonna peace out before 2026 because this is gonna be the last show before 2026, y'all. So anyway, I just wanted to take the time to dedicate that. Sorry. So listen, let's reflect on 2025. Now, like I said, for some of us, 2025 was the year that we've been praying for. It went exactly how we wanted it to go, right? And then some of us, let's just be honest, we was walking through the fire. We may have felt stretched, broken, or even felt like giving up. But with everything, and I'm just gonna bring my faith into this. Everything has its purpose. Nothing was by accident. I don't even believe in coincidence. I believe everything has a way of working out for the good. And every trial that you face and experience, it just helps you to build resilience. A lot of y'all probably even more resilient than you were in 2024, right? So just know that every tear that you cried, just those moments where you were like, what the hell? Listen, God saw it. Forgive me for saying the hell part, but I'm just saying God saw it, right? And, even every victory that you celebrated, God saw that too. So all I'm saying is that I hope that your heart feels light. I hope that it feels lifted and just know that good is coming. It's coming. Just hold on. Hold on and give yourself grace in the process, right? And another thing I think needs to be celebrated, just even the small things. You made it. You're here. You're still here, right? We know how life be life and how sometimes you might not even want to be here, right? For whatever reason, but you're here. So I don't want you to skip over this simple truth. You made it here. And like I said, it might sound small, but it's not. You survived the days that you did not know that you were going to get through. You showed up when motivation was gone. How many times have you showed up when you like, man, I don't even feel like doing this. I don't even want to do this, right? And you kept moving through the uncertainty when clarity wasn't even there. How huge is that, right? Have you given yourself grace for that? Are y'all just celebrating the big things? Or are you looking at these small details like that? Talk to me. So Mawanda Wilson says a year of transition. Absolutely. Definitely a year of transition. Absolutely. Okay. Thanks for joining me, Tonality. Happy Tuesday, season's greeting. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I think that's just really important. And the truth is some of you had to rebuild this year, whether it was physically, mentally, spiritually. There was rebuilding that had to happen. There's stuff that you had to let go. Some had to start over, and some of you are still in the middle of it, but you're still here. Celebrate that. You're still listening, you're still breathing, you're still becoming. And that matters more than you think about. Do y'all think about that? Do y'all? Talk to me. All right. And so this is another thing. I've been really huge about this, and I'm telling you, my circle probably tired of me saying this, but take the pressure off, right? Take the pressure off. So as we move forward in this new year, there's a lot of noise out there. And I can even say in the past, I had the photo, just kind of new year, new me, right? And that's okay. You've probably seen some of the hashtag new year, new year, new me, new year, new you, level up, grind harder, fix everything. And tonight, I really just want to give you all permission to let some of that pressure go. Right? Because social media have you pressured into a whole bunch of stuff of how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to move. Let it go. And like somebody would tell me, let it flow. Let it flow. Give yourself permission to let it flow. You don't need to become a completely different person on January 1st, 2026. Don't let this world, don't let social media, don't let nobody convince you that that's what you have to do. There's nothing wrong with keeping it in front of yourself, like, yo, I want to make these changes, or I recognize this, or whatever. But take the pressure off that it doesn't have to happen overnight. And if it does happen overnight for you, hey, kudos to you. But that might not be the next person's journey. It might not be your journey, and it may not be reality, and that's okay. You don't need to have it all figured out. How many of y'all have felt like, man, I got to have all this figured out. Man, I got to have my plan it all. Take that pressure off. I'm not saying don't plan. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is you don't have to have it all figured out, because can we be honest? Sometimes we can have these elaborate plans and it don't even go like it's supposed to, right? Am I freezing, y'all? Let me know if I'm freezing in time, because I feel like my internet is running kind of slow. All right, so you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have the perfect plan either. And you don't have to be totally healed, whole, and unstoppable by midnight. This healing journey is ongoing. You do not have to have it all figured out, right? What you need is honesty, awareness, and a willingness to keep showing up. Growth isn't dramatic. Most of the time, it's quiet. Personally, I can appreciate a quiet growth. I ain't got to grow out loud in front of everybody. Do y'all feel like that? And it can be boring, it can be repetitive, and that's okay. That's all right. Let it flow, right? And I'm going to be using that because, I feel like, that's something that has definitely been relevant and useful for my journey. So just know, again, good is on the way. The good is coming. Stay encouraged. No matter if maybe, the creator has shown you a promise, maybe whatever your expectation is, right? Just know that your good is on the way, and it's probably going to work out even better than you thought it would. Your favor is coming, and nothing that happened in 2025 can stop what God is ready to do in your life, what is going to manifest in your life. Your 2025, nothing in your 2025 is going to stop that. Just know that. So what is meant to be yours, it will be yours. You won't miss it. It will find you. Stop resisting with trying to control. How often have you tried to control something? I know I used to be a control freak, but at the end of the day, you got to stop trying to control. Stop chasing. Some of y'all chasing right now. What you chasing for, right? Have confidence enough to know that what's for you is on the way, right? So just rest in that. Give yourself permission to rest in that. I'm not saying don't take action. I'm saying be able to rest as well. All right. So let's see here. Where else do I want to go? All right. So like this whole regret piece, I do want to talk about that. Actually, I was just having a conversation recently about regret. So again, maybe 2025 didn't go how you hope. Maybe some things happened that you regret. And my thing is, okay, look at it, learn from it, but don't make it a life sentence. It's not a punishment, right? Regret can actually be a teacher, right? Regardless of what that regret is, what situation, whatever it is, let regret be your teacher, right? You don't have to live there. Don't give yourself grace. You don't have to live there. For what? Why are you still there? Right? Instead, ask yourself, what did this year teach me? What did it reveal about me? What patterns do I need to break? Because are there patterns you need to break? Think about that. What strengths surprised you? Because some of y'all probably learned some things about yourself. I know I learned some things about myself. I'm just being honest, right? What did you learn about yourself? I see your comments. I'm going to bring them on in a minute. Because even the hardest years leave you with something valuable. I was just having a conversation recently about how I felt that everything worked out for the good, right? Everything, the moments that weren't so desirable, the ups, the downs, it all works together. It does, right? But it's just being able to be honest and get into a place of center to be able to recognize that, right? So just know that no experience is wasted unless you refuse to learn from it, right? And that's no cap, for real. I'm just saying. Let me bring on a couple of these comments right quick. Lamont Stokes, Merry Christmas to you too. How's your beautiful wife doing? Tell her I said hello. We still need to get together. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you as well, Melvin. I really appreciate you. All right, yes. Hey, double happy holidays. Hey, I take it all, for real. I take all them well wishes. I'm just saying, hey, give them to me, for real. Give me all them well wishes. I will take it. Okay. All right. Year of embracing change. Absolutely, B. That's exactly what this is. And change can be change can be tough. Am I lying? Change can be a fool. However, but when you are able to get to the point of honesty and being centered, change can really be a wonderful teacher, and it can be a wonderful thing as well. So, change don't always have to be bad. It don't. All right, so let's see here. What else do I want to share with y'all? Let's see here. All right, so let's get into this whole rest thing, because I know, listen, rest can sound like, oh man, I'm slacking, man. I gotta keep grinding. I gotta do that. But let's just talk about rest for a minute. Let's introduce this tool. Some of you are tired, not lazy, right? How many of y'all have ever felt guilty for, man, I'm gonna sleep in a little bit, right? Have you ever felt guilty for that? I know I have in the past, right? But rest is not quitting. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're unmotivated. You're just tired. You're human, and that's okay, right? And, rest is not weakness either, and rest is not falling behind. So I hope that you're able to take some of these seeds into your 26 to also prepare you for 2026. And I hope in 2025, you're able to kind of let go of some of those things. So hopefully this episode will give you something, right, to get you prepared for 2026, because 2026 for me, alignment. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to squash all of the stuff in 2025 that's not going to service me in 2026. I only want the stuff that's going to carry over, that's going to service and be a benefit to my 2026. Okay, I hope I made sense. I hope that made sense. All right, so let's see. What else? Rest is preparation, y'all. These last days of the year, again, that word flow is coming to me, y'all. Let this flow. Let it flow, right? You don't need to sprint into 2026, right? You don't need to be a track star. Okay. You don't need to sprint into 2026 exhausted. You don't have to. You don't get bonus points for burnout. When you ever got bonus points for burnout? When burnout ever served you? Seriously. So protect your energy, protect your peace, protect your mind, whatever that means. What does that look like? Think about that, right? For me, protecting my peace. I like to get into my moments of quiet, and I'm also okay with letting people go. If they don't compliment my peace, I'm Gucci, right? So you have to figure out what that looks like for you. And just know that the world is still going to be there when you're ready, because sometimes you have to take a hiatus, and that's okay, right? Just know that the world is still going to be there when you're ready. All right. So let's see here. What else before I bring my guest on? Because I want to get through these last little points. Because like I said, I'm not keeping y'all all night tonight, right? And it ain't that I'm super hungry. And y'all know I'll be hungry on a Tuesday, but I ain't super hungry. So I still got some time. All right. So let's see here. What else do I want to give y'all? So again, just remember that 2026 doesn't need to be perfection, right? It doesn't need the flawless version of you. You don't need to erase your past. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't. You just need to be willing to try, willing to show up even when it's uncomfortable. How many times have you had to show up when it's uncomfortable? Hold on, let me take you off of here, cousin. I appreciate that. I was keeping you up there. Anyway, like I said, how many times have you had to show up when it's uncomfortable? Right? Not easy, right? But again, that builds something in you when you're able to do that. And also be willing to believe that change is possible, right? Change can happen, y'all. Are y'all willing to believe in that? And just know another thing. This was another conversation I had not too long ago. You're not too late. You're not too old. And y'all stop claiming old. Would y'all stop that? You are timeless. Okay. Stop claiming old. Don't speak that over yourself. It's nothing wrong with growing timeless. You hear me? You're not broken. You're not disqualified. You're still in the game. You still in this, right? So just keep that close to your heart. And just as far as the motivation piece, I think it's really important to be motivated. But consistency is everything, right? Like I said, stop chasing motivation, stop chasing period. Just build consistency. Motivation, it comes and goes, but consistency, that changes lives, right? Consistency is really important. Start with small habits. I just shared a post on Instagram, small habits, small decisions, small course of actions done daily, it can take you far, right? Just start with something small. Maybe, whatever that is. If it's a sentence, if you're trying to write a book, start with a sentence, start with something, right? Just consistency, and it will build. Because sometimes when you're trying to, just make it all happen, or whatever that is, you'll burn out, right? And so you could have used that energy more so just developing small steps. And that's okay, because the small steps count to it. They don't all have to be big. They don't all have to be big at all. All right, so let me go ahead. Oh my goodness, let me get to these comments right quick, y'all. Vernon, happy holidays. 4 more months. I'm getting my CDL back. A little setback. Absolutely. But you're going to get them back, V. Absolutely. I got faith in you. You're going to get them back, right? That setback, hey, that's just a setup for a come up, right? And I'm looking forward to your success from that. What's up, Derek? Good evening. Yeah, call a timeout. Put yourself in the corner, right? Put yourself in the corner, Derek. Timeout is okay. A timeout is really okay, for real. You got whatever that looks like, give yourself a timeout. I'm hungry on it. Listen, on a Tuesday, I do be hungry, Lamont. I do. I know it don't look like it because, I'm kind of small, but I do be hungry, right? I do eat. But, this is what I did today. I got a little protein shake, right? I've been doing these protein shakes because my holistic doctor was telling me how good they would be for me, because sometimes I don't be getting all my protein. So this is going to curb it a little bit, but my inner greedy, she don't be playing, for real. I showed up uncomfortable last night with my own family. It is what it is. You know what? But you showed up, right? You showed up. You showed up, and you're going to see the benefit of that. In the moment, you probably was like, what the hell? Or the kids saying, what the hell, Lee? But in all seriousness, you'll see the benefits of that. And that's only going to grow you. That's for you. Okay. Move at your own pace. You absolutely have to move at your own pace. You have to. You got to march to the beat of your own drum. Move at your own pace. And it's so easy, like I said, to get caught up in social media, in the world, whatever is your influence. And you gotta detach from that. Detach is huge. You gotta detach from it, right? Because you'll be moving and marching to something that ain't for you, right? And you'll be moving and marching funny and holding on to patterns that you was trying to let go in 2025 because you still listening to stuff to stuff that wasn't even your assignment or for you. So I would definitely recommend to take your moment of quiet and figure that out, right? And you don't have to have it all figured out. Isn't that the beauty of it? That's beautiful. You don't even have to. All right, so let's see here. Is there anything else that I want to share? Like I said, it's going to be kind of short tonight. All right, so I think I got it all before I close out. Of course, I got a wonderful affirmation that we're going to go into 2026 with. All right, so Maurice, I know you wanted to come on for a bit. Blink once or twice if you ready. I don't know why I did that. It took a sip. I'm sorry. Okay, Reese, I'm gonna go ahead.
Hey, happy holidays. Happy holidays. How are you, Lisa?
I am blessed. You hear me? I'm Gucci.
Too blessed to be stressed. Amen on that. So, I want to just give, some season's greetings to people that, kind of allude to what you said. You don't have to have it all figured out. God is in control. He is a chess player. Why, the enemy is playing checkers. God is playing chess, in real time. And he hasn't forgot about us. He's very,
I can't hear you. Is it me? Did I hear something?
I hear you. And I hear me.
For real, I can't hear now. Hold on. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. Did you press mute? Yeah. Don't play with me because I was
I did not.
Hold on. Because I'm sitting here like
I did not press mute. I promise.
Okay,
Audience,
I don't know what that
chat,
was.
Help me out, chat.
And I don't even want to be blaming who I be blaming because for a minute I couldn't. Okay, y'all can hear. Oh, okay. So it's just me. Oh, it's me. Okay. You know what, though? That's okay.
Accountability. But we're gonna leave that in the past. That's a 2025. We're moving forward. We're moving on.
So So this part of 2025, I'm going to be accountable that it was me. Okay. I'm going to say that, yes, a woman is claiming her mistake. Okay.
Lisa at 7:28 on December 20th. No, we're not going to do that. But see, that's the thing. That was the enemy. He didn't want to hear me speak. So we going to keep it going. But
yeah, so what you say, rewind that, because I
so rewind. So what I was alluding to is that, we have to actually follow the journey. And, we really have to make sure that we don't chase the actual destination, and that we live through the journey and appreciate the journey that we're going through. Like I say all the time, life is going to be ebbs and flows and ebbs and flows. And it's this continuum of that. And you just have to enjoy those moments where, you're in the flows, because, when you're in the ebbs, life is actually could be crushing you. But one thing that God brought to me one day, when I was sitting in my quiet, is that, oftentimes we say, I'm being broken into pieces, but God told me, no, you're being broken into places, into your purpose. And it's being, moving you forward to where you're supposed to be in your life. And, I'm not doing this for no reason. I'm actually moving you into your calling and your purpose in life. So why you think it's crushing you? And, what happens is, when you're melting something, anybody knows who looked at pottery, God is a potter. So even in the broken places, he's going to actually mold you and shape you into the version of you that you're supposed to be, that he designed you to be. So you just have to let him do his work. The potter is always at work. We think that, like, God has took a lunch break. He ain't taking a lunch break. The Bible says he never sleeps nor slumbers. So he's always at work. He's never on the throne, like nervous and sweating, saying, oh my goodness, this happened to Reese's life. What's going on? This happened to Lisa's life or the audience life. He's never. He's all knowing, and he's omnipotent, omniscient, which means he knows all things, and he's everywhere. So when we look at, the things that we're going through in our life, we have to understand that God has us in control. And God brought me this to my spirit, for those who are, have grief during the holiday season. God hasn't given up on you. He's still working through that pain, and allow yourself to have human moments. It's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. If you got to cry sometimes, cry sometimes. But talk to him and say, hey, Lord, I don't have this thing figured out, because the reality is, if anybody tells you they do, they're a big fat liar. They don't have it figured out. We're all on a journey, and we just got to let that journey be used to get us to our divine purpose and calling in this life. And it's going to be all right. The greatest gift was Jesus Christ and the love. And that's what we got to remember. It's not about gifts under the tree this holiday season. It's about literally season greetings, spreading love and light, which you should be doing all year long. The spirit of Christmas should be 365. Love, light, peace, joy. Spread it all year round. Love people. Love on people. You don't know what people are going through. So just be kind, be loving. And it's okay to give yourself grace and give other people grace too, because a lot of people are struggling with things that you don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, and to that point, Reese, I was having a conversation recently with someone, and, one thing that I don't attack per se is like a person's belief system, right? Because sometimes
Absolutely.
That's what helps to get them through. And you never know, as good as they look on the outside, as successful as they seem to be or whatever, you never know where they are. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
To the point when you were talking about being kind, and, that is so important. And just be like, hey, okay, sometimes it ain't necessary for you to say that. It's not necessary for you to attack a person or whatever. That's not your place.
Absolutely.
So, that just really, resonated with me when you said that, because you never know what another person is going through. You never know what is just keeping them going. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason, even when it comes to belief systems and stuff like that. Hey, listen, believe how you want to believe. That's on you, right? That might be what got you to your peace, what got you to your center, what got you to, whatever. And that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're right. You have to get to that center, which, the center is always, connected with the creator. That's alignment. That's divine alignment. So,
Absolutely.
And giving people grace and being kind, that is literally the definition of doing God's work. So, the greatest gift you can give is love. Give love this holiday season. It's not about the material stuff. That's cool. Don't get me wrong. Brother
Yeah,
likes
don't
some
get
cool
it
stuff. Don't get it wrong. But at the end of the day, that means nothing if you don't spread love, joy, peace into people's lives, because you could be abusive and give the dopest gifts in the world, but spread love. And one other thing that I tunnel, from my grandfather, God rest his soul, he'd always say, don't make a God out of anything. Oftentimes we pedestalize, these promises and these things that we want in our lives. And the Bible clearly says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto thee. So we pedestalize the stuff instead of pedestalizing God. And so, we just got to reverse that and just don't make a God out of stuff. The love life, the material things that we have in this life is cool, but if you make that your God, it will surely disappoint you. So make God God. Put the main things in the main things, and all things will fall into place.
Your golden calf, so to speak, right? Would that be the correct?
Absolutely. And go to calf. Absolutely.
So let's bring on some comments, because I see these comments coming on. Let's see here. Let's see. You rubbed it in, Lamont, my childhood friend, right? We known each other since we was like 2. Okay, now
the mic was on. The mic was on.
Yeah, it was me. It was on this end. It was on this end. I'm beyond done with some things and people. I'm the father of the phoenix. I gave birth to. That's a beautiful thing. Chef's kiss to that, Derek. That's huge. That's huge. Even recognizing that your power in being able to birth and rebirth, right? Even as a man, I know that sounds crazy, but you recognizing your power, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Good job on accessibility. Yeah, I'm gonna be accountable. Sometimes it might take me a little minute, but I'll be knowing. Sometimes it just take me a little minute. That's all.
Accountability is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So, hi, Keith. How are you? What's going on, Keith? If you're not growing and improving your character, you're not walking in your purpose. That's fair. That's fair. Derek says, salute, music man, ebbs and flows, acknowledge and control your responses. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a few more comments here. Let's see here.
Shout out to you, Derek. Appreciate you, Derek.
Absolutely. And Derek, thank you so much for always logging in. I don't think you've missed an episode, Derek, and I appreciate that. So Derek says, I think most men suffer in silence, going through, but not letting it show. Absolutely. 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 And I know that my father was that way. I mean, he was definitely a tough man's man. Y'all know I'm gonna bring up my daddy before the end of this year. But I know that in some things, I know that he suffered in silence, and even, brothers that I've crossed paths with and, been able to talk to, that definitely, that's not anything unusual. Right.
Absolutely.
And, my prayer for those brothers or anybody, since, men were mentioned, I'm gonna start there, that, that you all that are going through that are blessed to find a counsel or brotherhood or elders or whatever that can help you with that you're able to get to your center and that you're able to get some healing and some direction with that. That is definitely my prayer, because I know that it happens,
Yes.
So
yes, especially in our community specifically, so we're taught not to cry or show emotion. So absolutely, shout out to the brothers, we gonna make it. One thing that did come to mind too, speaking of, closing out the year is, oftentimes, I and this is just my personal, this is my music man beliefs, not, the beliefs of relationship super Lisa, but
yeah, I put the disclaimer in there. Don't come for me, because we disclaimed that. I'm just saying the disclaimer.
I said it. I put the disclaimer out there, but one of the things that I oftentimes see, is these posts when the new year come around, is people cutting people off, and I think that in some capacity, that's right. If there's some strong dynamic that needs to happen, but I think the real adult thing to do is to make amends. We never hear about, hey, in 2026, I'm going to repair relationships. I'm going to make amends, and I think that to me is such a beautiful thing. We can actually go so much further and be a stronger collective if we learn to make amends, on our side and both sides, and then come together and have the hard conversations and really move forward in love and not, create this divisiveness, because we perpetuate this cycle of divisiveness instead of actually making amends.
Absolutely. And I do agree with that to an extent, right? You have to know, you have to know what that is for you, right? Because some people, I'm gonna make amends. Hey, listen, in my spirit, in my quiet, and between me and the God within and my creator. And that's just what it is.
Yes.
I don't feel like I necessarily have to make amends. And I'm not mad at anybody right now. I don't even have that in my heart, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just realized that it is a case by case. I can move forward in love with you, and I don't even have to have that conversation. Now, if I wronged you, then I have no, problem with, apologizing, and even what that might look like, because
Sure.
I feel that apologies can also happen where I don't even have to be face to face with you, because sometimes situations are not going to allow that to be, and that's okay. Yeah. I think as long as you set the intention for me, but again, each person has to, figure that out on their own. But
Absolutely.
love is the ultimate,
Yeah.
and
And
so
it's not.
I just don't want people to feel pressured to,
Yeah.
which your message is Gucci. Your message
Yeah.
is great. The truth
It's
of
not
the
cookie cutter.
is
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is it's not cookie cutter though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I made that. That's why I made that disclaimer. It's not cookie cutter. The relationships that can move forward, you can make amends with, and some that they're not. But I think you have to have the real conversations in both scenarios and say, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to make amends with this, because sometimes it is us, and we have to be grown enough to recognize when it is us and say, hey, I was wrong with that. I apologize, and make the not only a declaration but the actual motion to have a genuine apology.
Absolutely. That's true. Absolutely. Genuine.
Genuine.
Genuine
Genuine.
apology. Not like I'm sorry that you was offended, or like I'm sorry. Them real generic ones where somebody be like, I'm sorry you took it that way, that you took what I was, I don't know. I
Or
don't know.
let's go to the extreme. Dang, I'm sorry.
No,
You're
no,
like,
hold
whoa,
on.
whoa,
Like,
whoa,
I'm
hold on.
sorry,
Wait a
because
minute.
somebody
Wait, what?
actually apologized to me like that before. It was something like, um, I have to come back to it, but I'm like, bro, that wasn't even no apology. You could have just
That's not
kept
an
that
apology.
straight
Just
up,
because
like,
you say the words I apologize or I'm sorry does not mean it's a genuine apology. It's
like
it's comes from the heart, right? So
facts. All right, so we have a few more comments, and I'm about to bring this show to a close. So let me do this, music man. Are there any final word? Are there any additional words that you want to add? I don't like to say final words because sometimes that feels like,
oh yeah, we're not going to cover final words, but the last words for the show. Just I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Move in love, move in God, joy, peace. Don't worry about the material stuff, and just don't sweat the small stuff. Just know that it is not happening to you; it's happening for you. You're not being broken into pieces. You're being broken into places. There's divine order over your life, and just pray and take your time and be kind to yourself and to others. And I want everybody to have a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I love it. Look, until next year, Reese.
Next year, 2026.
It's coming.
let's,
All
let's
right.
go.
Well, I'll talk to you later. And thank you so
Okay.
much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna bring a few of these comments on before we end this 2025. Let's see here. If you don't know your purpose, you should pray to the good Lord that He shows you what it is, how to walk in it. Amen. Absolutely. Pray for purpose. Take those moments of quiet and pray for purpose. Sometimes you need that additional, that additional guidance couldn't hurt. In fact, don't make what you are after. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately, the reason why so many men suffer in silence is because we don't feel like we have a voice. Also, far too often, our vulnerability is weaponized against us, and that's the sad truth. You sound like me, Maurice. Don't idolize nobody or nothing. Acknowledge and appreciate, but recognize mental boundaries. Absolutely. Lisa, I wish I wasn't still mad at nobody. But accountability is a serious issue. No apologies don't come, and people got to go. Absolutely. Like I said, it's a case by case. You have to assess what that is. Meditate on it, pray on it, and wherever you're led, then move on that. I believe that you can definitely be led to what you have to do. All right, y'all. So let me see here. What else so that I can go ahead and close out this episode? I told y'all we wasn't going to be too long today. All right, so let's see here. Where do I want to go? I do have an affirmation that I do want to share. This one's kind of long, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and say this one, all right? So this affirmation that I want to close out 2025 with is, I release the past with peace and gratitude. I'm divinely guided, divinely protected, and divinely supported. Every experience has prepared me for greater good. The right opportunities move toward me now. The right people align with me easily. I move forward without fear, without doubt, without delay. My good comes to me in perfect timing. The year ahead opens with favor, clarity, and purpose. And so it is. All right. So that's what we are going to end. And so my final encouragement, y'all. So basically, as 2025 winds down and 2026 approaches, man, that shake is thick. I keep on. But anyway, so as 2025 winds down and 2026 approaches, be kind to yourself, right? Be honest with yourself, right? That mirror cold-blooded. I've said that over this year. That mirror cold-blooded. So you got to be honest with yourself and stop believing that, and don't stop believing that better is possible. You got to know that better is possible. Right? You have to know that. You have to have that hope within. So, well, you ain't got to do nothing. I'm just saying it's going to help you. Hopefully that seed is planted. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving. You know, you got to believe in you. And I really mean that. Believe in you. You got God within. Believe in yourself. You know, and over these next few days, because 2026 is coming, right? And it came fast. Rest, reflect, and reset. All right. All right, cool. So let's see here. There are a few more comments. Let's see here. Hi. What's up, Mark Lee? I appreciate you. 2026 is yes, it's our year. It is absolutely our year, right? We're going to claim that. Whatever's to come, right? Hopefully you are putting those prayers and meditations down that, you know, whatever 2026 brings, that, you know, hey, that it's going to be that desired outcome for you. What's going on, Clarence? Hey, what's going on with the Christmas show? I mean, with the Christmas celebration show. What's going on with that? Holler at me. None of us have it all figured. No, absolutely not. You know, yes, claim it. You should claim it. You deserve that, right? We be so hard on ourselves. Don't we be hard on ourselves? All right, y'all. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and give my shout outs. I want to give a special shout out. My mama, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Lyric, thank you, Lyric, for everything that you do, even behind the scenes. I really appreciate you. The Grishams, Aunt Anna, my viewers, my guests today. I appreciate you, Reese. Thank you for coming on. And of course, if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, right? And don't forget to follow us across all platforms. You already know. Let me go ahead and bring this up. Let me see. Are there any more comments? I'm claiming I'm going to. You're hilarious, Mark. Hilarious. That's what you claiming, Mark. Listen, I don't know when I'm going to get that way. I'm just saying. This traveling been kind of sus. The stuff I've been seeing on Instagram, you know, that's probably something I need to do too. I probably need to chill out with looking at some of this stuff on Instagram, because my stuff is full of conspiracy theories and all kind of stuff. I'm just saying. All right. Well, hey, you know, claim it. You know, you got to claim what you want. All right. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and bring these little few things on, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I got some good stuff. Look, I ain't even going to go out tonight. I'm baking something in the oven tonight, and it smells so good in here. Yeah, I can cook. I do be cooking. All right, so again, here we go, y'all. YouTube, Relationship Soup, period. The website, relationshipsoup.com. All right. So again, Relationship Soup, y'all got to get in this group. All right, y'all got to get in this group. Okay. I ain't gonna tell you what was recently discussed, but I'm saying y'all gotta get in here. Relationship Soup LLC. If you want to follow me, we on TikTok, y'all. We are on TikTok, so y'all gotta get in there, right? Let's see. Is there anything else that I'm going to put out here before we get out here. Yes, it is absolutely dinner time. It is dinner time, y'all. It is absolutely dinner time. You know what? I do want to bring on one more thing. Let me bring on one more thing, y'all. Right? Let me go ahead and bring it on. The book, Hello Me. I know y'all like, hey, listen, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming, y'all. Right? Hello Me, this book, listen, yes, it's for the children, but there's stuff in it as well that I know that can benefit and plant seeds in adults and also nurture that inner child. That is absolutely coming. So, be prepared. All right, y'all. So that's basically all I got. Are there any more comments or anything like that? Did I miss anything? Holler at me. Is there anything else? Y'all good? All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Sorry. I'll be so distracted, y'all, sometimes. Like, I'll be trying to keep it all together. But anyway, so like I said, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, right? Rest, right? Get your rest. And that's okay. Give yourself some grace as well, and then just keep going. Keep going, y'all. Don't stop. Michael Jackson even made a song about it. Don't stop, right? So just keep going. You got this. Until we meet next year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that. I'm sending you all love and light, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you need, I pray that it is given to you. All right. So, all right, until we meet again, peace.